It's not an EV, it's not a gas guzzler, it's something in between. And it might be the biggest threat Tesla has ever faced. Honda has just unveiled a new hyper-hybrid system, a self-charging, high-efficiency powerhouse that blends gasoline muscle with electric efficiency in a way no one else has done before. No charging stations, no range anxiety, no anti-Musk vandalism, just long-range performance and fuel economy that could make millions of car buyers rethink going full electric. For years, Elon Musk worked tirelessly to make Tesla the gold standard for the future of driving. From the Model S to the Model 3, Tesla dominated with sleek designs, except the Cybertruck, cutting-edge software, and an EV network so far ahead that rivals struggled to even play the same game. And it worked. Tesla became the face of the electric revolution, and later a big refrigerator on wheels, but still pretty cool. But while Tesla was perfecting the EV dream, Honda was quietly perfecting something very different, and maybe more practical for millions of drivers. A hybrid so advanced it could chase down Tesla in the global market, and if it works, it won't stop until it catches up. Is Tesla finally going to be overthrown? Just watch. You're about to find out. This isn't your typical hybrid, and it's definitely not just a copy of what Toyota has been doing for years. Honda's Hyper Hybrid is built around a 2-liter Atkinson cycle gasoline engine, paired with not one, but 2 electric motors. One drives the wheels. The other acts as a dedicated generator, constantly feeding power back into the battery so you never have to touch a plug. However, you do have to touch the subscribe button. Most hybrids switch awkwardly between gas and electric, often sacrificing performance for efficiency. But Honda's system runs like a perfectly tuned orchestra, both gasoline and electric working in harmony, with the car's intelligent power management deciding in real time which source to use. Cruising through the city, it'll stay in electric mode. Overtaking on the highway, the gasoline engine jumps in instantly, delivering up to 184 horsepower without lag. In other words, for teenagers, it's always in gas mode, and in electric mode for old people. And here's the kicker. It's not right that you've watched all the way to this point but still have not liked the video. But jokes aside, the right kicker is designed so the gasoline engine is off most of the time, meaning your fuel consumption drops drastically. We're talking 47 to 66 miles per gallon in real-world driving. Diesel car mileage, but from a gasoline hybrid. That's the kind of efficiency that makes you wonder, if this tech had launched 5 years ago, would the EV boom have looked very different? For years, Tesla built its empire on solving the problems people hated about traditional cars. No gas stations, instant torque, smooth, silent drives, and it worked. Millions bought into the vision. But here's the twist. Honda's Hyper Hybrid quietly offers those same perks without the headaches that still haunt EV owners. Think about it. Charging time? Gone. This thing charges itself as you drive, so there's no sitting at a supercharger for 45 minutes in the middle of a road trip. Range anxiety? Doesn't exist. You've got the instant, silent push of an electric motor, but when the battery needs juice, the gasoline engine steps in without you even noticing. And because that gasoline engine runs so efficiently, you can travel up to 1,000 kilometers on a single tank, something even Tesla's top models can't touch without a recharge. Then there's cost. While a fully loaded Tesla Model 3 hovers around $45,000 to $50,000, Honda's Hyper Hybrid tech is showing up in cars like the Accord Hybrid at a much lower price, and with no need to install a charger at home or replace a battery that costs as much as a small car. The math starts to make sense for buyers who want EV-like benefits without EV-like compromises. And here's where the tension starts to build. If the average customer realizes they can get 80% of the EV experience for less money, less hassle, and more range, Tesla's grip on the mainstream market could start to slip. Here's where the Honda Hyper Hybrid stops being just interesting and starts looking like a legitimate market disruptor. On paper, it's a 2-liter Atkinson cycle gasoline engine paired with 2 electric motors, one for driving, one for generating electricity. But the way it's tuned is where the magic happens. Most of the time, the car runs purely on electric power. The gasoline engine only kicks in during high-speed cruising or heavy acceleration, meaning you burn fuel strategically, not constantly. The results? In real-world testing, the Accord Hybrid and Civic Hybrid are consistently hitting up to 66 miles per gallon, numbers that beat most diesel cars and destroy anything in Tesla's range when you factor in the time and cost of charging. And we're not talking about slow, underpowered economy cars. The combined system pumps out 184 horsepower and instant torque from the electric motor, giving you smooth city acceleration and confident highway overtakes. Then comes reliability. Honda already has one of the strongest reputations in the automotive world. Civics running for 300,000 miles, Accords that outlast 3 owners. Combine that heritage with a hybrid system that never needs to be plugged in, And you've got a setup with fewer failure points than a pure EV. No waiting for replacement battery packs. No expensive charging infrastructure. Just regular maintenance at service centers that already exist nationwide. And here's the thing. When you combine efficiency, range, reliability, and lower ownership cost, it's not just an alternative to EVs. For a lot of buyers, it's the better option, which is exactly why Tesla should be paying attention. Honda isn't shouting about this from rooftops the way Tesla does with every new update. Instead, they're moving with quiet precision, testing the waters in Japan first, then slipping into the most strategic markets one by one. The Accord Hybrid and Civic Hybrid are already winning praise at home, and now they're making a calculated push into the United States, Tesla's strongest stronghold. Why the US? Because the hybrid sweet spot is exploding there. A growing chunk of drivers are interested in EVs, but still hesitate because of charging time, cold weather range drops, or simply the inconvenience of finding a station. That's Honda's target, the almost EV buyer. The kind of customer who's been eyeing a Model 3, but doesn't want to wait 40 minutes at a supercharger or gamble with winter range. From there, the playbook expands to Europe, where strict emissions rules are pushing people toward cleaner tech. But the charging infrastructure is still patchy in many countries. And finally, the emerging markets like India, where EVs are still far from mainstream. Honda knows this is where a self-charging hybrid can dominate without competition for years. It's a slow, methodical rollout, the opposite of Tesla's loud, global-first blitz. But if this plan works, Tesla won't just lose buyers in one region. It could start bleeding customers everywhere. And the scariest part? Most people won't even see it coming until the hybrids are already parked in their neighbors' driveways. If Honda really wants to steal Tesla's lunch, they only need to hit 3 pressure points. And this new hyperhybrid hits them all. Hard. First, charging time. Even with Tesla's fastest superchargers, you're still waiting 20 to 40 minutes to get a decent charge. On a long trip, that's time you're not moving. Honda's hybrid? It charges itself as you drive. No plugs, no planning, no downtime. The gas engine feeds the battery when needed. The regenerative braking tops it up even more, and you just keep going. Second, battery life. Tesla batteries are impressive, but every single charge cycle slowly degrades them, and replacement can cost upwards of $15,000. Honda sidesteps this entirely by putting far less strain on the battery. The gasoline engine does the heavy lifting when it's most efficient, and the electric motor handles low-speed, stop-and-go driving. Result? The battery stays healthy for years, without a 15,000 time bomb hanging over your head. Third, cold weather performance. EV drivers in places like Minnesota or Norway know the pain. A Tesla that promises 300 miles in summer can suddenly drop to 200 or less in the winter. Lithium-ion batteries just don't like the cold. But Honda's hybrid has no such Achilles heel. When the mercury drops, the gas engine takes over seamlessly, so range and performance barely change. In other words, Honda didn't just build a good alternative. They've designed a system that directly exploits the very weaknesses Tesla hasn't solved. And if customers figure this out, Tesla's biggest selling points could turn into reasons not to buy one. Tesla has ruled the EV kingdom for over a decade. Elon Musk built an empire on sleek design, blistering acceleration, and a charging network no one else could match. For years, it seemed untouchable. But now, something is in the rearview mirror, and it's getting closer. Honda's hyperhybrid doesn't need to beat Tesla at being an EV. Instead, it's rewriting the rules of the game entirely. It gives you the silence and instant torque people love about electric cars, without the charging anxiety. It offers diesel-like mileage, up to 66 miles per gallon in real-world conditions, without ever plugging in. It's cheaper to buy, cheaper to maintain, and built by a company with a decades-long reputation for bulletproof reliability. This isn't just another competitor. It's a completely different predator. One that thrives in places where Tesla struggles. Rural towns with no chargers, cold climates, countries where EV infrastructure is years away from ready. And while Tesla waits for the future to arrive, Honda is quietly taking customers today. The question isn't, will Honda's hybrid hurt Tesla? The question is, how soon before Tesla sees its market share start to slip? Because the hybrid isn't just here to compete, it's coming for the car market. It's chasing Tesla down, and it's only a matter of time. But for me, still nothing beats the Prius.